Hi there, I'm Lisa Bizerns, and I'm the team lead for the Scout for Homes Group Remax Signature Properties. The other agent you'll see in this video is Jessica Crockrell. Her and I work together, and the recording you're about to watch was from a live buyer seminar that we did recently. And we recorded it so you guys could watch from the comfort of your own home in your PJs if you like. Hopefully, it answers some of your questions. And if you find you have more questions at the end, we'll include our contact information.
So first of all, we're going to discuss why do I need an agent? An agent is the one who's going to bring everything together for you. They're the one who's going to be the liaison between the seller and their agent and you. They are going to interact, well, we are going to interact with the lender, the inspector, the home warranty people. In some cases, contractors, if you purchase a home that might need some work, and hey, let's get somebody to come out and look at that and give you more information on it. We act as the liaison between them as well. You're going to want someone who's going to act as your advisor and represent your interests and not the seller. So the seller has their agent, and their agent's job is to get them the best price, the best terms. As a buyer's agent for the buyer, our job is to help you guys negotiate the best terms and the best price and the best for you. So when you're driving along the road and you see one of those signs that says, oh, the house is for sale, there is that name and that number on that sign. And you're like, I'm interested, I'm going to call that name and number. Why is that wrong? That's because that's the seller's agent. And like I said, they're for the seller. They're not going to have your best interests at heart. You're going to want to jot that address down and give it to your agent and say, hey, can you find out some more details? Can you schedule us an appointment to go see it? And then sometimes when you're looking online and you come across that website, Zillow, and you're like, oh, there's a button here. I can click that and get more information. What that's going to do is that's going to connect you to an agent that represents that zip code who's available at that time to answer the phone. Are they going to be the best agent? Maybe. Maybe you'll get us. Maybe you won't. I don't know. So that's why that's not a good idea. Again, you'll want to have an agent of your own that you can and contact, and they can do all the things for you. So you guys have taken a great first step just walking in here tonight. But when you walk out and go home, those are all things to keep in mind.
Yeah, so let me go back and touch that a little bit on, again, she's talking about calling the agent on the sign. We just had a listing on the west side of Belleville and 78th Street that I'm the listing agent on. It is not in great shape. Okay, our city inspection list is 5 pages long of discrepancies. Yeah. There's also structural purpose along with it. There's major issues in this house. I've had 13 different buyers call me and say, hey, can you tell me what's wrong with that house? Absolutely not. The seller hired me to sell it. Why would I get on the phone and go, oh yeah, absolutely, if there's a giant crack in the basement, you don't want that, it's gonna be $15,000 to fix it? I'm not gonna do that. So again, when you call, if you call the signing, call the listing agent, you're not necessarily gonna get somebody that's looking out for your best interest. They're trying to look out for the seller's best interest. So once you've kind of cleared this up, you've established, this is the person I want to work with, how do you kind of build that relationship with that agent, and why does it matter? Well, first thing I would do is set up a face-to-face. So you guys made a great step coming here because you get that face-to-face contact, you get to ask all your questions. If you can't do a face-to-face for whatever reason, do a video meeting. At least have a conversation, talk about your wants and your needs, include things like condition and price. If you're not handy, say, I need this to be minimal work, or I need it to be move-in ready. But talk about those things, explain the things that are super important to you, school district, yard, neighborhood, etc. Talk about budget and timeline. Maybe you've got 4 months left on your lease, so we're trying to align so when your lease is up, you've got a new house to move into. And then commit to working together. After you've done all that, then start your house hunt. Then get online, look at everything you want to. Your agent is going to pair you up with a lender, and we're going to choose somebody who's going to be a good fit for your needs. Maybe you need down payment assistance. Maybe you're just looking for a great rate. Maybe you're doing a 1031 exchange because you're, converting your condo in Florida to a high-rise here. But depending on everybody's different situation, the lender match is going to be a little bit different too. Next thing you do is get your pre-approval done. Say, start looking online, let your agent look for you. They're gonna be sending you homes, but be open to hearing what your agent says. When you call and say, oh my God, I love this house, and they say, but it won't qualify for the type of financing you're using, be open to those conversations. Ask if there's other ways to do it. Ask why not. Get educated on those things, because they're gonna be looking at all those elements of, does it fit your timeline? Does it fit your budget? Does it fit the condition you said you wanted? Is it the right school district? Is it big enough? Are the bedrooms big enough? All these different elements are going to be taken into consideration. Just be open to hearing them. And then go see the houses in person. Occasionally there's going to be something hit the market that there's 95 people trying to see. We might only be able to get in for a video and then swing back later for an in-person. But try to get in person in a house. And when you find the one, again, be open to listening to that agent. I just had a client. I'm selling their house on B Street downtown. They made a road trip down to Mississippi. Found the house, found the perfect house. She came back with a phone full of photos telling me how perfect it was. And then they did an inspection. And they found a problem with the road, the HVAC, the gutters, the landscaping, the foundation. They found so many problems they backed out. Had they listened to their agent instead of being so excited that it was so perfect, could they have avoided that? Maybe.
Okay, so we found the perfect house. What do we need to do next? And we're going to make an offer. And there's going to be a lot of thought and planning that goes into that offer. It's going to depend on the desirability of the house. If it is a house that is in really good price point, perfect move-in ready, there's so many showings that it has multiple offers, then we know we have to go in more aggressive. If it's, there's going to be that price point. So your lender is going to give you what your budget is, and we need to make sure that we're staying within that, so that we're not looking at houses that are too over your price range. And we're also going to look at the days on market. So if a house just comes on, like we were just talking about, and everybody's making offers already, it's going to be a lot different than if a house has been on the market for, say, 40 days. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at your budget, your down payment, your loan type, and your ability to pay closing costs. So again, keeping your house that you choose within your budget, how much money you're going to have for down payment, we'll discuss those things. Your loan type, if it's an FHA versus conventional, there's going to be differences there. And ability to pay closing costs, that's going to be, if you don't have closing cost assistance through your lender, you'll be able to decide if you need the seller to help you with the closing costs. You can ask for that and those will be all those things will be discussed as we go through how to set up that perfect offer for you. You'll also have to decide on closing date. With people who rent, if you can get that closing date in around the time that your lease is up, so you don't have to overlap. Or if you have a home that you already have to sell, there's going to be a date that you close on your sale. You'll want to have that within a range, either the same day or within a range that you can move out of your home into the big one. Can you pay your own closing costs, or would you like the seller to contribute? How much of a down payment are you going to make? And then you're going to ask for any repairs. Are you going to ask for any repairs up front, or are you going to wait till inspections? So if you're looking at a home and you say everything about this home is great except we know it needs a new roof, like you can see it needs a new roof, those are things that possibly could be asked for with the offer. Say, we will offer this if the roof is repaired, and there's an extra step in there that we can do to do that. Or is it going to be a situation where we're just going to make the offer, we're going to go through inspections, and then look at the inspection report and ask for repairs out. So with all those factors taken in consideration, your agent will guide you on writing a winning offer.
So all those elements that it was talked about, we talked about, sometimes when you get to that point, you're not really open to hearing all those things. You're just super excited about getting the house. So many times, especially if you hear friends say, well, we got outbid again. We couldn't get it, there's too many people bidding on it, price went too high. Really all they're talking about is they didn't write a winning offer. Sometimes the winning offer isn't even about the price, it's about flexibility or other features. So the biggest thing you want to do is be open to listening. So if I go example a couple houses, so we did 123 Main Street. It's on the market price of $165,000. It's been on the market 34 days. It's at one price reduction for $5,000. It's past occupancy, but it has an older roof and older HVAC system. So we might write the offer on that one at 163, and we ask the seller to pay $25 above in closing costs. We also ask the seller to pay for home warranty because we know that HVAC system's older. We're going to ask for a response back in 24 hours. Very reasonable, very moderate offer. Kind of common 2 or 3 years ago, not as common nowadays. And then we look at 345 Main Street, also on the market at 165. It's fully remodeled. It's only 1 day on the market. Has a new roof and new HVAC. Offers are being accepted for the next 72 hours. So we're going to take offers for the next 72 hours and then we're going to make a decision. So in that house, we might structure that offer to look more like we make the offer at 170 with an escalation clause up to 185, not exceeding your max budget, but maybe going up near your max. A flexible closing date we're going to let the seller pick. You're going to pay your own closing costs. We're not going to ask for any repairs under $1,000. We're going to offer a $7,000 appraisal gap, and we're going to allow the 4 days response time. That's going to make it a much more competitive offer that you're likely to win, rather than going home with your tail between your legs going, man, I got outbid again. Okay? And like I said, all those things we're going to take into consideration to structure the best offer we can so that you win. What happens when you win the offer and you're under contract? Well, that's when we're going to first off hand you back to the lender, hand you off to the inspector. We're still going to guide you on all those things. We're going to lay out all the timelines, but we're going to hand you off to get other people involved in your transaction. And this is where we'll hand off the claim.